Dr. Krúγκmαν, why the Greek government finds it so difficult to convince its creditors that further austerity in an economy that 1 out of 3 is still in the labor force is destructive?
Oh, partly I think it's simply history. The people who were calling for all that austerity don't want to admit that they were wrong in any direction. And it's a very appealing story for some people. It's a much simpler story that says, well, Greece sinned and spent too much, and which is, there's some truth to that. But then the claim is that that solves all the problems. It's a much easier story than one that says, okay, this is a difficult technical problem. You have to find a way through the middle, and they just are very reluctant to make that change.
Could it be a credibility problem from the Greek government as well, a negotiation style issue?
There may be, although I actually suspect that is less important than people imagine. I mean, we're not talking about children here. We are talking about important people who are accustomed to people saying strong things. So no, it's mostly substance.
At this point, what would constitute a fair compromise for the Greek government?
A small primary surplus. So a small surplus of revenues over expenditures excluding interest. That's the key point. Greece has to. It's not going to be able to run a deficit there on any sustained basis, but it can't have the massive surpluses that's being demanded.
Previous governments were delaying reforms, resorting to horizontal measures. This government is delaying reforms because they belong to the list of the previous government. However, both are increasing recession in Greece. What are the reforms that have to go forward? Should layoffs be further relaxed? Should the vast social security funds decrease their spending? Should the public power corporation be privatized?
I'm dubious about all of those. There may be some virtue in all of those, but they seem less central. I mean, the obvious things from the point of view of an outsider is tax administration. There's just too much tax that should be collected that isn't. There are issues about the legal system. So I would say that actually what Greece should be doing is talking about true structural reforms. A lot of what it's being told to do are not really structural reforms, they're just more austerity.
What will increase public and private investment right now? What will increase liquidity in the economy? Everybody's running out of the...
Yeah, well, as a solution to the negotiations, so we can restore a normal flow of funds.
What if the government pays salaries for public servants before the IMF?
Well, there are lots of ways we can think about how this plays out, and it's important to be prepared because you have to have a fallback position. It would be very difficult. I mean, and there are ways. You should never say that there is no alternative to giving the former troika what it wants, but it's very difficult. I mean, you don't have your own money.